Esther 2:19. Uvehikavetz betulot shenit, u Mordecai yoshev b'sha'ar hamelech. We begin a new section today, kind of a new paragraph here, and we're introduced to something about Mordecai, which is going to be important, but we first get the temporal clause, when the virgins were gathered. So I've kind of sussed that out a little bit earlier. We have here as the verb, the nifal infinitive construct of the root kavatz, to gather. Notice as a nifal, we get were gathered, were gathered. There's that passive nuance of the nifal. But we get here the typical temporal clause, bait preposition, infinitive construct, and then what we would see as the subject. Literally what we have here is and at, seeing this bait as temporal, at the time of, we might include the gathering of, the being gathered of, infinitive construct, the virgins. So that gets really complicated to just say when the virgins were gathered a second time. But that's what's going on in the Hebrew grammar. At the time of the being gathered of the virgins a second time, so this is the second time they're coming, we get now even Mordecai was dwelling. Here we have a call participle, masculine singular. Remember that participles primarily have a durative aspect, so was sitting, he was currently there. And he was sitting where? At the gate. We get this locative prepositional phrase, at the gate of the king. At the gate of the king. And this verse, while very short, sets up the context of how Mordecai is going to be able to tell Esther about this conspiracy against King Ahasuerus. So it's a great point in the narrative where we see this second gathering, and indeed Mordecai comes in here at the gate of the king.